Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo. This is Three Buck Theater. And yesterday, man, I got really happy. I got really happy when it was announced that Jason Reitman would be taking over the franchise from his father, Ivan Reitman. And of course, I'm referring to a Ghostbusters 3. And there's been a lot of people that have lost their utter mind over this, both good and bad. You have the diehard fans of the original that are going to be approaching this from the yes, no more Paul Feig aspect of it, as well as those who enjoyed the 2016 version that are like, why go back in time? I don't understand it. I don't get it. What are we doing? Why are we here? I miss Holtzman. I'm a Holtzman. And don't get me wrong, look, Holtzman was probably like the second best part of that movie, the best part being Chris Hemsworth, and everything else. But the reason why this is important, and I want to kind of talk about this, why I feel that Jason Reitman is the best person for the job. Now, today we got a teaser trailer for Ghostbusters 3, right? It's weird to say Ghostbusters 3. It hasn't quite clicked in my head just yet. Hasn't quite clicked in my mind just yet. I'm still kind of thinking Ghostbusters 2016, right? Or Ghostbusters 2016 Part 2 is how I keep thinking we're going to see a sequel to this. It's just Ghostbusters 3 is not something anyone has ever uttered with any kind of legitimacy since 1989. Right? We've never actually established it as a possible canonical entity. With the exception of the Ghostbusters video game from 2009 that many people do equate as being Ghostbusters 3, as we now know that is no longer considered canon. But still, saying Ghostbusters 3, having it be known as Ghostbusters 3, is this wild, massive thing that I'm still having trouble wrapping my head around. But then I think more about who's behind the camera, right? The stars of the original film have come out and been like, yeah, as they should. As they should. We know that Sony almost had to go into litigation, threatened litigation with Bill Murray and maybe Dan Aykroyd and who knows other people in order to get them to cameo in the last movie. Sony has done a lot trying to keep this thing relevant. And the one thing they didn't do is what fans wanted. That is take it back to its roots, right? Keep it in the original Ghostbusters Prime timeline and make it something that continues after the fact and keeps it in what we know as that New York and that timeline. And treat it as a working man's comedy. That's why it worked. It was grounded in its approach. Ghostbusters 2 was grounded in its approach, albeit a bit more on the out there scale with, Vigo the Carpathian as well as a walking Statue of Liberty. But still, the Bobby Brown song was amazing at the end of that movie, let's be fair. But this one I feel is going to be more grounded, and I think Ivan Reitman is the best person for the job in that regard. And I mentioned this yesterday in reading the article about it. He says he views himself as the first Ghostbusters fan. He views himself as being that way because his father directed the first two movies. He has a cameo appearance in Ghostbusters 2. The little kid at the birthday party that says the Ghostbusters are full of crap. Like, that's him. That's Jason Reitman. He grew up with this. He knows this. He lived this. And not only that, the dude is a superb directing talent on his own. He is. He's a fantastic director. But he does low budget or lower budget, independent, character-driven films. That's what he is predominantly known for. Not studio tentpoles, none of that type of crap, right? He's not a Michael Bay. He's not a Mick G. He does character-driven films that are grounded in reality. When we talk about Paul Feig and we say that he is good at subversive comedy, Paul Feig approaches everything from this is what's an established trope, let's make it more ridiculous, right? He went out and he made Bridesmaids, which was meant to simply be a female take on The Hangover, but instead of going all darkly dramatic, they went back to kind of the standard best friend rom-com drama sort of thing. That's where it was a bit subversive. The Heat took Tango and Cash and Lethal Weapon and turned it on its ear by casting Melissa McCarthy and Sandra Bullock. Spy took the Gentleman Spy movie and turned it on its ear by casting an overweight woman in the main role. he took those concepts and he put that into Ghostbusters, and it failed miserably because nobody wanted it. Ghostbusters was not meant to be a subversive topic. It wasn't meant to be a subversive trope. It's meant to be grounded in reality in a way that establishes that ghosts could literally exist. And in this world where ghosts exist and they're pests, who better to take them out than pest control? Right? Who better to take them out than pest control? So you look at the concept, you break it down, you deconstruct what Ghostbusters is, and it's a character-driven workplace comedy about blue-collar workers trying to start a business in New York and getting famous. Add ghosts. It's a recipe that is easy. It almost writes itself if you think about it. Why did Ghostbusters 1 and 2, by the same extent, why was it a success? Because it played it straight. It didn't play it for laughs. It didn't play it for jokes. It played it straight. And the comedy followed because we were following the reactions of these people that were all straight men. I mean, granted, Venkman was the most straight man, whereas you had, Zedmore is the everyman. And the kind of comic relief was Ray and Egon. That made sense. It made sense, right? But at the same time, they were still grounded in their reality, and they commented on their reality. It wasn't something that was trying to be subversive or trying to take it to an existential plane. And that's kind of a lot of what happened with 2016 Ghostbusters. It tried too hard, and it failed miserably. And then when it knew that it failed, what did it do? It attacked the fan base. It clapped back in a way that destroyed the trust in the property, the trust in the brand. So here it is, almost 3 years later, and we finally get something we've known about for a while, but we just didn't know was going to be a reality. That is Ghostbusters 3. Again, it's so weird to say it. So taking a director whose father helped birth the franchise, who grew up around the franchise, who's an excellent storyteller himself, is working on the script. So none of that Ghostbusters hellscape shit that Aykroyd is working on. Not to say that I'm against it, but still, that was out there, and we can be glad that it's out there. It's not going to be here. He will take the characters, he will ground them in a reality that is believable, and then he will add ghosts on top of it. Yes, there will be new characters, as there were always going to be new characters. That was never going to change. With these types of movies, you have to add new characters in there. We'll have to wait and see who these new characters are and how they play out, but ultimately it's going to be grounded in reality, and it's going to be a backdrop for a workplace comedy, because that's what it's going to be. Now, is it going to be Ghostbusters International, Ghostbusters Worldwide? We have no idea yet. But if the first teaser gives us any indication as to what it might be, to me, it's about Ghostbusters rebirthing. That's what it says to me. Because what is it? Right? For one, the teaser is excellent. The lighting, the music, the themes, the direction, the way it played out felt like we're back in 1984, cruising up into that library for the first time. You got chills. I know you guys got chills because I got chills. It felt like we're going into that same idea once again. Cruising up to a barn. The trees are raging in the winds. The leaves are going everywhere. We're hearing some kind of electric work happening, some kind of construction happening. As we go into the barn door, we see a vehicle covered up by a tarp, right? This is a rundown old barn, looked abandoned to an extent. The tarp flies back because of the wind, and we see the Ecto-1. What does that tell you? What does it tell you? It tells me that the Ghostbusters are back, obviously. But two, it's not set in some multi-million-dollar conglomerate building. It's not set in some massive corporation that controls Ghostbuster franchises the world over. It's set in an abandoned barn, covered up by a tarp to protect it from the elements, to protect it from time itself, meaning that the Ghostbusters are probably defunct. Once again, it's been 30 years. By the time it comes out, it will be 31 damn years by the time we see this actual sequel. So they probably moved on. Maybe it went too mainstream and Ray got out of it, couldn't take it anymore. Right? Venkman was always the businessman. Ray was about the science. Once Egon passed away, maybe he lost his interest. So he takes the original Ecto, he takes it out there, goes out into the world, because he worked on it too, but it's Egon who is developing the proton packs. So who's going to be the new Egon? We have no idea. But to me, it's this teaser is showing us a lot more about what to expect. It's not going to be hype. It's not going to be a huge, big thing. It's going to be a grounded film with grounded characters dealing with a workplace comedy set in a world with ghosts. And we will be watching their reaction to this reality. And that is where the comedy is going to come from. That's my theory on it. That's my opinion on it. I am so excited for this. I'm so happy for this. I mean, I just cannot wait. But I leave it to you, your thoughts, your opinions. Do you think I'm right? Is Jason Reitman the right guy for the job? Is he going to save Ghostbusters? What are your thoughts about the teaser trailer? Let me know down in the comments below. I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out. Hey, thank you so much for getting to the end of the video. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to get more up-to-date movie news and information, as well as breakdowns of trailers and other types of stuff, be sure to watch the other videos, click subscribe, and check back daily for more content from me. Again, my name is Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. Have yourself a great day, guys, and peace out.